What the fuck? Seriously, this chapter was quite the confusing event. So let's talk about the things that weren't confusing. For starters, it seems as though we might have found a weakness in the X-axis. I mean, granted, it could have been just him showboating and talking shit because he was like, I'm gonna crush these sinners, blah, blah, blah. But he did complain about his eyes drying out. So one of his weaknesses might be within his eyes. Maybe if they, completely blind him, maybe he'll be fucked over. Not to mention his design looked like, what? His design kind of reminded me, the best thing that I could think of is from Claymore, the Awakened Beings. It's something very, very weird looking like that. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't hate it because I'm used to it from, again, Claymore. They had similar designs and whatnot, but it's just kind of like very weird. And honestly, I don't know why Kubo does this when he makes these weird looking designs, especially for the holy form. Like, he goes into another evolution and it just looks like, what the fuck is this? And then the little chat that Kyoraku had with Sakura Nosuke, one of the things that she said to point out is, let me take over now, let's run away. So was she gonna take over his body completely and then they were gonna get out of there? That was kind of interesting as well. And to be honest with you, between the two spirits that we've seen of the Zanpakutos, Sakura Nosuke and Kyokotsu, I like Sakura Nosuke more. Sakura Nosuke looks like that be my bitch. And no, it's not just because she has giant tits. It's not that at all. Bounce chicka wow wow. Alright, now let's examine this closely and see if we can come up with some sort of answer to what the fuck happened in this chapter. Nanao says, bring out my Zanpakuto. Forget about the promise you made to my mom. So she's like, bring it out. Just bring it out, right? So that means she's asking him, just bring out my Zanpakuto. It doesn't matter or whatever. So I'm like, oh, right, okay. So she's just basically saying, bring out the other sword or something along the lines of that. And also a big revelation, which I'm really excited. Hopefully next week leads into a flashback, finding out a little bit more about Kyoraku's past and what happened. More than likely, when he went Bankai one time, he killed possibly Nanao's mom, which I'm kind of curious. Could Nanao be his daughter? Or maybe like, he got with her after she already had Nanao, something along the lines of that. But either way, the promise was probably protect my daughter at any cost and never go Bankai again because look what the fuck you did. Or maybe he hurt her really badly and then eventually she died off, something along the lines of that. So maybe this entire time, Kyoraku has been running on 50%. So maybe the Bankai that we even seen was only 50%. Maybe he could have even been, double the strength. So that's something to note as well. But then at the end of the chapter, he says, I'll give it back. Your Zanpakuto, Kyokotsu. So I'm like, what do you mean I'll give it back? If this is like, I'm guessing what was saying, and it's probably just misconstrued because it seemed a bit convoluted, but basically what he was saying was, I'll bring it out now so you can see it. But if the entire time possibly she had the spirit with her, like, it just really isn't making much sense. Like, what we can gather from this is, whatever promise he made, it was more than likely something to do with his Zanpakutos or whatever, and possibly not using them and always protecting Nanao, or at the very least not using Kyokotsu. Maybe either the combination of Sakura Nosuke and Kyokotsu is too deadly, or maybe Kyokotsu's abilities are too deadly when he goes Bankai. So maybe that's possibly part of it, but still it didn't really make much sense when she said, just bring out my Zanpakuto, like, go ahead, use it. But then at the same time, he's like, okay, I'll give it back to you. And it's like, it doesn't make much sense unless he had the spirit from his Zanpakuto, from the Kyokotsu, following her this entire time. And he's like, okay, I'll give it back now. But maybe he's meaning I'll give the sword back, but then the spirit will come to me. Like, honestly, it was just pretty convoluted with this one. But that's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing that the entire time he was running on 50% strength, and Kyokotsu, for whatever reason, he didn't have really much control over that Zanpakuto. It was staying with Nanao this entire time. But now he's going to have double the strength with both of the spirits of the Zanpakutos fucking around, and he's going to have an even stronger Bankai. But I still don't get what he meant about giving it back, because if anything, wouldn't he just say, okay, I'm going to take it out, I'm going to use it now? So I'm kind of curious. And again, I'm really hoping we get a flashback, because between the shit with the kimono, the shit with the two spirits and the Zanpakutos, the promise, Nanao and his relationship, there's a lot of stuff there. It's just that this chapter, I think it was just presented in a very weird manner, and if it was just worded a little bit differently, maybe it would make more sense. Or Kubo was just being very, very like melodramatic with weird fucking fucking shit just for the sake of throwing us the fuck off. Either way, I'm not gonna lie, this chapter, I was very excited with it. It kind of had me curious, and if I had to give it a score, to be honest with you, I just want to give it a score of what the fuck out of 10. I really do, because I'm just like still confused as fuck as far as the whole thing goes with the Zanpakutos, and a lot of people are like, I keep on seeing in forums and everything, everybody's like, what's going on here, bro? So I'm kind of on that, but then at the same time, it felt like it was really, really fucking good, to the point of almost like great, and I'm guessing that these flashback chapters are going to be 9s or better, because it sounds really fucking hype, and I'm excited. Again, the Zanpakuto Rebellion filler arc, we know that Kubo is guaranteed at this point that he was at the very least involved with doing the designs. That's definitely confirmed. What he said a while back that he did, yeah, he did that, because Kyoraku is the same look as the Zanpakuto Rebellion filler arc, and of course Sakura Inosuke as well. So I kind of really want to rewatch that in a way, just so I can see if I grab anything that I might have missed. But let me know what you guys think. First of all, X-Axis' design, what the fuck you thought of that? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Again, it reminded me of Awakened Being, but just weirder, like a little bit weirder than that, and they look pretty fucking weird. Also, do you think that Sakura Inosuke was going to take control of his body and basically kind of be like, I don't know, to compare it, Kurama taking over Naruto's body, something along the lines of that? Also, what the fuck is up with Kyoraku? Like, is it that all this time it was the spirit was with Nanao, or maybe Nanao has the real sword? Maybe he's been running around with a fake this entire time. Like, what the fuck is going on? It could be that indeed the doubles that he had, one of them was a fake, and actually she had the real one this entire time, or he had the real one on him on another way, or something along the lines of that. That could be as well, because just because they're twins doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be, you know, identical, because there's fraternal twins as well. Maybe that one sword, the other one, was a fake, and he never really pulled it out because it's too strong. And your overall thoughts of all this? Like, I don't know, I really fucking liked the shit out of this Bleach chapter. I thought it was very good. It was just a little bit too confusing, convoluted, and it needed to be presented clearer, because other than that, it was like, I'm hyped to find out about that backstory. And at the same time, I think if Kyoraku has 50% more power to add to that Bankai, this motherfucker's gonna be fucked. Not to mention, it seems as though there's some sort of weakness within the eyes. Go for the fucking eyes, bruh. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.